Hey, first graders. We're going to read another story today with Ivy and Olive.
Hi.
Mr. Putter and Tabby. Smell the roses. You remember Mr. Putter and Tabby? They were characters we were studying when we were in the classroom and we were reading different books. We always liked Mr. Putter and Tabby. This is a Cynthia Rylant book. She's a great first grade author. If you're looking for books to read this summer, check her out at the library. Cynthia Rylant. It's a chapter book, so we have 5 different chapters. The first chapter is called Together. The second one is called Something Special. Number 3 is called Heavenly. 4, Not So Heavenly. And 5, Surprise. Chapter 1, Together. Mr. Putter and his fine cat, Tabby, lived next door to Mrs. Teaberry and her good dog, Zeke. They all did many things together. Mr. Putter and Mrs. Teaberry took walks together and read books together and made tea together. You remember these characters? Mrs. Teaberry, Mr. Putter, Tabby, Zeke. Tabby and Zeke did everything Mr. Putter and Mrs. Teaberry did, except sometimes Zeke did it the hard way. You wrapped him up. Mr. Putter and Mrs. Teaberry also celebrated together. They celebrated Halloween and Christmas and the first day of baseball season. They celebrated new tires, they celebrated good teeth, and of course, they celebrated their birthdays. Chapter 2, Something Special. Mrs. Teaberry's birthday is on Saturday, Mr. Putter told Tabby one morning. I want to do something special for her. All morning, Mr. Putter thought of special things he could do for Mrs. Teaberry. He thought of ice cream, he thought of cake, he thought of balloons, but they had always celebrated with those things. Mr. Putter wanted to do something extra special this year. I wonder what ideas he's thinking about that are a little different. And besides, he said to Tabby, don't forget what Zeke does when balloons are in the room. Going kind of crazy over them.
Sharp teeth.
Mr. Putter made a cup of cocoa and poured Tabby some cream. Then he sat in his chair to think. I've got it, said Mr. Putter at last. It had taken 3 cups of cocoa, but he had it. He would take Mrs. Teaberry to the conservatory. The conservatory had the most beautiful trees and plants and flowers in town. And Mrs. Teaberry loved beautiful trees and plants and flowers. She was always telling Mr. Putter about her maples and her roses. So he's going to surprise her with a trip to this conservatory flower and plant shop. Mrs. Teaberry will love the conservatory, Mr. Putter told Tabby. Mrs. Teaberry's birthday would be good. It would be special. It will be heavenly, said Mr. Putter. Chapter 3, Heavenly. On Saturday, Mr. Putter put on his best shirt and his best tie. He also put some pomade in his hair, kind of like a special hair gel. It made him look very spiffy. Pomade makes the man, Mr. Putter told Tabby. What's funny about this is Mr. Putter is putting pomade in his hair, but look at how much hair he has. There's not much hair to put hair gel or hair cream in, right? Mr. Putter and Tabby knocked on Mrs. Teaberry's door. Happy birthday, said Mr. Putter. Mrs. Teaberry was wearing her dress with all the ruffles and her zebra earrings. You look very nice, said Mr. Putter. Zeke looked very nice too. His jacket matched the earrings. Shall we go? Asked Mr. Putter. I can't wait, said Mrs. Teaberry, and off they went.
I'm pretty fun.
Soon they arrived at the conservatory. It was very large. It had beautiful windows and beautiful things growing inside. It was heavenly. Mr. Putter sniffed the air. It smelled all wet and flowery. It reminded him of going outside in the rain when he was a boy. It smelled so green. Mr. Putter and Tabby and Mrs. Teaberry and Zeke walked among the trees and plants and flowers. They touched the leaves. They smelled the roses. They learned the facts. And here it says, Venus flytraps native to the U.S. eat bugs. Kind of like a museum with lots of flowers, plants. Mr. Putter had told Zeke that if he was very, very good at the conservatory, he might get a surprise. Zeke lived for surprises, so he was very, very good. He was not chewing. He was not digging. He was being as good can be. And he stayed that way for exactly 5 minutes. Zeke's kind of the troublemaker.
What's the trouble?
He gets into trouble. Then he found the banana tree. Chapter 4, Not So Heavenly. Zeke thought the banana tree was for him. Zeke loved bananas. He thought the banana tree was his surprise. Uh-oh. Can you think about what Zeke might do next? If he loves bananas and he thinks the tree is for him? What do you think?
He might climb up the tree and eat them.
Uh-oh. He's the troublemaker. So he jumped up and grabbed a bunch, which made the guard blow his whistle, which made Tabby jump into a lemon tree. Uh-oh.
Now she's going to get in trouble because she made her jump.
They might get kicked out of the conservatory for not following the rules. Which made lemons hit everybody on the head, which made the conservatory not so heavenly. Look at it's raining lemons. Zeke, Zeke, Zeke. Chapter 5 is called Surprise. Mr. Putter and Tabby and Mrs. Teaberry and Zeke and 2 bunches of bananas and 9 lemons got into Mr. Putter's car. That was fun, said Mrs. Teaberry. You had fun? Asked Mr. Putter. Of course, said Mrs. Teaberry. Didn't you? Mr. Putter looked at Mrs. Teaberry. She had a head full of leaves and a lap full of fruit. She was such a good sport. Mr. Putter wanted to keep giving her special things, so he drove her to their favorite ice cream parlor, an ice cream shop.
Yeah, that would be yummy.
She must like ice cream.
Yeah.
They ate lots of strawberry cake and lots of strawberry ice cream, and Mr. Putter blew up 15 balloons. Mr. Putter looked at Zeke. Zeke looked at Mr. Putter. Then Zeke gave Mr. Putter a surprise. You think that's going to be a surprise? He's not going to pop the balloons?
Yeah, or she might.
Zeke gave Mr. Putter a good Zeke. There were 15 balloons in the room, and Zeke was good. Mr. Putter was so happy that he sang the happy birthday song twice. It was one of the best celebrations ever. Everyone went home very happy. Mrs. Teaberry felt very special. And the next day, there was even... ... And the next day, there was even... lemonade. Where do you think they got those lemons from?
Yeah.
The place they were at?
Yeah.
The conservatory?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I love Mr. Putter and Tabby, Mrs. Teaberry and Zeke. Fun characters. Remember, first graders, it's so important to keep reading even when summer comes and we're not in school anymore. Go to your library, find some good books that interest you. Have mom or dad read them to you. You could try finding some books that you can read because you're becoming such great readers. But it's so, so important to keep reading every day in summer. See you next time, first graders.
Bye. Hope you like this.